Hello, what's up, everybody? Another week, another Dynamite recap. AEW Dynamite recap. This time coming to you on a Friday, May 28th, 2021. How are you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Running on a 2-hour sleep, but the hell cares?
Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. Hopefully this dynamite kept you up because it was awesome.
Oh, it's gonna keep me up thinking about some things. Anyway, shall we just get into it? Let's not
Yeah, let's do it.
let's not delay the inevitable. So, we start off with Darby Allin versus Cezar Bononi.
You got it. Oh, that's like
Yeah.
2 in a row for you, man.
So, first thing I noticed, the crowd is we're in a full crowd. The stage is set up different. Nobody's wearing masks, but who the hell cares? It's awesome. I'm not there, so I don't care if nobody's wearing masks.
You could say everybody was waxed, vaxxed, and ready for a hot boy summer, I think.
I think you could say that. But
Yeah.
what did you think of this match?
It served its purpose, I guess. It was fine.
What was its purpose? I mean, like,
just to get Darby out there.
yeah.
I mean, just to remind us that Darby is a star.
Okay,
Right? Yeah.
so the story of the night, and you can tell me if you disagree, but the story of the night, I would call time filler.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good. You hit the mark on that one, man. That's a really good story of the night, I think.
I mean, they've got their pay-per-view set up. They got 2 hours to fill. What can we do to make you... I mean, if you're not interested by now, probably not going to be interested after this show. And they knew that. So they threw some stuff out there. Anyway, the match was okay. Nick Nemeth, I saw, did you notice this? He's in the crowd. Not in the crowd, but he's ringside. He's holding like a Slammy award or something.
It's a BTE bit, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, you're right. I did notice that, which is weird because a lot of these bits have to do with BT, and if you don't watch BT, it'll fly over you, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dynamite's got to do something about that. If they're going to have these kind of things that carry over from BTE, they have to find a way to work them in. Otherwise, it won't make any sense.
Yeah, so I mean, Cezar Bononi beat up Darby for a little while, and then Darby put him in a sleeper for a bit. He hit a stunner, shotgun drop kick, coffin drop, and he won. So that was it. So, like all Dynamite matches, what happens after the match is what you have to pay attention to. After the match, Darby gets on the mic, and he's like, he's not going to wait to get jumped from behind, so let's do it tonight. And then 2 guys come out and say, at Double or Nothing, it's the end of 1 legend and the beginning of 2 more. I don't know. So this actually was probably the best thing that Scorpio and Ethan have done as a team. The wingmen attack Scorpio. So they turn around, like they're walking to. They're like, F this. We're going back. So they turn around and start walking back into the locker room. And then the airmen attack Darby and Sting. And then they turn around and they come back to attack Darby and Sting. That was actually really good. That actually made me laugh. So Ethan Page puts the Bulldog choke on Darby. Scorpio is about to Pillmanize Sting. But then the Dark Order make the save. And then the Dark Order and Darby and Sting all fist bump. That was all right.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much wrapped it up in a package. That was it. I'm not really looking any more forward to this match than I was before. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's
I will say
it's my least
least interested match
yeah.
in Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
I will
I'm
say
no
I'm
interested.
actually worried about Sting being in this match.
I think everyone is, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
We don't know.
this is not a scripted match. Well, let me take that back. This is not a cinematic match, and so I don't know, man. I hope he doesn't get hurt. I really don't.
I mean,
It would be really bad for everyone involved if he did. So
I mean, they must have confidence. He took that power bomb from Brian Cage a while back, so they must know something about his health that nobody else does. Hopefully,
good point.
Hopefully he's
true.
gonna be all right. So then, got the weigh-in, hosted by Paul White, also known as the Big Show. In case you don't So this is the weigh-in, of course, between Cody and Anthony Ogogo. I'll let you weigh in on this. You see what I did there?
Oh man, what can I say about this? How do I weigh in on this other than the fact that A,
Hey, you did
it
it
was
too.
overstuffed, B, it was too long, C, it went nowhere, and D, it was unnecessary.
Yeah,
So
like
why don't we just give it an F?
what was this supposed to be?
I don't know.
Like seriously, what was it supposed to be? We don't ever have weigh-ins for wrestling matches I've never seen a weigh-in in WWE or in WCW or in AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact. Why is there a weigh-in?
Yeah, it really suspends your disbelief because in wrestling, anybody that's watched any wrestling match for more, I'm sorry, any wrestling show, knows that weights don't matter. You have guys that are 350 pounds fighting guys who are 160, right?
Well, I mean, you should
Yeah.
say weights don't matter in fake wrestling. In
That's
actual
true.
MMA, and
Yes.
boxing, it's quite important.
Yes, but I'm saying in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's really no weight division to it. If they wanted to push the storyline forward, they could have had some kind of contract signing or anything like that, right? Which makes more sense because they always do those things. But a weigh-in, like you said, was kind of unnecessary. It wasn't this kind of. It was unnecessary. And all those other points I said, it was way too long and overstuffed. It was just,
It
oh my
was
God.
really long. So Paul White says there's going to be no shenanigans. It's going to be a serious weigh-in. And the factory comes out, and they're all decked out in UK colors and gear and pattern.
Including all the American wrestlers.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
So Cody comes out with all his students from the Nightmare Factory, and then he goes on the scale first, and Paul White can't get the scale to work or something. I was like, isn't this fake anyway? He can just slide the scale anywhere. It's not like anybody's checking. Anyway, he says Cody weighs 218 pounds. Ogogo gets on the scale. He has UK underwear on. He's 219. And then QT gets on the mic and he says, you idiot crowd. Anthony Ogogo is going to win because he's 1 pound heavier than Cody. Okay. I don't know why, but how that makes sense, but okay. And so Ogogo plays to the crowd, and then Cody plays to the crowd, and everybody loves Cody. And then apparently Dustin the camera missed this. At least I didn't see it. Dustin took a swipe at QT. The factory left the ring. And then Cody tells the crowd, give it up for Paul White. And that's it.
I wish it was as long as your recap, because it would have been a lot better. Unfortunately, it was about 10 minutes too long.
So I have no idea what the hell the point of this was. Like, I have no clue.
You're absolutely right. We
how,
know this is happening.
How is this supposed to make me want to watch that match any more than I already do or don't at this point?
It made me less interested in this match than I already was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all over the place, and it sounds weird, but it was all over the place, but not focused enough either. If that makes any sense, you know? It just didn't make any sense.
Totally makes sense. So then we got a not inner circle, but a Stadium Stampede video package. Jericho talks about how Blood and Guts is only the beginning of the inner circle, and they talk about how they were in last year's match, which they won. And then MJF mentions that if they win, the inner circle is broken up, and that puts a smile on my face. And then the end of the video package, for some reason, is just Shawn Spears for the first time in the whole video package, and then he just says, "Some men were meant to be buried." And that's the end of the video package. I was like, what the hell is this? But okay. Anything you want to add about that?
The video package is fine. It made me, it made me excited and made me happy to relive those moments of last year's Stadium Stampede and the build to it. But yeah, what a weird way to end it. I felt the same way. I was like, what? Like, Shawn Spears had 2 seconds at the end, and it almost felt like it was cut off.
Like that, yeah, that was like the only part he was in the video package too. So like, I don't know. And then they cut backstage. Hobbs is beating up Christian. They fight. Christian starts beating him back up, and then a bunch of people try to break it up. Christian hits a really nice spear on Hobbs, and then they break it up. I don't know where the hell they were fighting. They were in like the underground storage of the storage guys. I was like, okay. Anything? You
Pretty
got?
brutal, actually.
It looked pretty brutal.
Yeah, if you didn't tell me this was like for, a wrestling shoot, I would have been like, I thought these guys were really beating the shit out of each other.
Yep.
So, yeah. We'll see where things go. It'll be interesting to see if one of those two wins the Battle Royale.
Yeah. So Hangman Page versus Joey Janela is up next. Anything you got? You got anything on this?
It was a good match, actually. I haven't seen Joey in a while. It was a hard-hitting match.
I haven't. Yeah.
Nonstop.
I haven't seen Joey or Sunny Kiss in a long time. I was wondering if they were still employed.
I think they're pretty much,
They're
resigned to the
dark in
cards or
elevation. Okay.
Yeah, what has it been? Yeah, it's been a while, huh? Like
It's been
3
a
or 4
long
months
time.
since we saw Joey, right?
Yeah.
Been quite a while.
So Hangman wins with 2 discus elbows, a pop-up powerbomb, and a buckshot lariat. He was bleeding by the head like crazy at the end of the match. I don't know where that came from. Do you know how he got that bleeding head?
So it was right till the end that he seemed fine. The only thing I can think of is when he went for the power bomb. Actually, I think Joey's boot caught him on the head somehow.
Oh,
Maybe a
really?
zipper or something. Because right after that move is when he started bleeding, and then he really started bleeding like crazy after the match was over. Before that, he was fine. So
Yeah. It just came out of nowhere. So I don't know.
It was definitely a hard way bleed, and I was like, "Holy crap, it was bad." Yeah.
And one of the really good moves of the match was Hangman hits a fall away slam on the outside. That looked really painful. But
yes,
don't you think that Hangman and Joey Janela look like brothers? Like Hangman is the older jock brother, and Joey Janela is the less fit younger brother.
the rebel of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's true. They should be a tag team.
No, they shouldn't be a tag team.
The rebel and the cowboy. No.
Oh, but we forgot about the one of the lines of the night when Shivani is talking about how Hangman's doing so well. He's got friends in the Dark Order, and Taz says, "Who gives a rat's ass about his friends and personal life?" That was really good. Taz was on the mic for this match, which is great. So, of course, as always, in AEW, what happens after the match is what's important. Taz introduces Hangman to Brian Cage. He wants to come out and say hello to you, buddy. And then Hangman gets on the mic and he says, "I know what happens. Ricky Starks is in the back and Hook's going to come in." And he points them out. Yeah, there they are. There's Ricky Starks and Hook. And then he says he expected more from Brian Cage. Is he really a guy who needs these other guys to beat the shit out of him? And then he tells Brian Cage to leave these assholes and fight me like a man. And Cage, he's like, "Yeah, okay." So he shoos them away. And then Ricky Starks is like, he can't believe Brian Cage is actually sending them away. And Brian Cage says, "Yeah, I'll fight you one-on-one at the pay-per-view." So that was good.
Yeah, that 10 seconds of Cage just speaking to Hangman at the end there was just perfect. That was the best that I've seen him anything come out of him, period. And he didn't even really have the mic. He's like, Cage doesn't need these guys, and I'll prove to you, when I beat Adam Page, that I'm the machine, and it's something like that. It was perfect.
Who better than Cage? Not Page. Is what he's kind of saying.
Yeah, exactly. Who better than Cage? Not Page. Yeah.
So we've got Eddie Kingston and so they said we're gonna hear from Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley right now, but then they cut to commercial. Did that happen to you too?
It did.
Well, of course, we live in the same place, so it's gonna happen to you too. But anyway, they come back from break and Mox and Eddie are talking. They're burying the shoes they stole, and Moxley calls them Rod and Todd Flanders. He's wearing a bitch AF shirt. Very cool stuff. He gives the town reference. He's talking about Eddie says we got to go beat some people up, and And Moxley just says, well, who's driving? And Mox says, we need those belts. I need those belts, Eddie. And Eddie's like, all right. He says, the belts are T-bone steaks and they're bulldogs. Then Eddie says they aren't happy like all the other people in the back with Kenny and the Bucks acting all carny. And they're going to quit and maybe they will be EVPs. And Kingston's like, hey, you want to be an EVP? And Mox's like, nah, I don't want to be an EVP. So another 10 out of 10 by these two. What else can you say? I don't know. Maybe
beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to give these. So here's the thing. I want to give Ricky Starks his own show, and I want to give Kingston and Mox their own show.
Yeah.
Maybe Taz his own show. Doesn't he have a show actually? But
so I heard somebody said like an idea was they would just have Eddie Kingston and John Moxley go around the country to every like dive bar in the country and just hang out and talk shit in the dive bar. I was like, I would watch that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep. And now we've got Orange Cassidy's answer, which I was on the edge of my seat because I had no idea which way he was gonna go. So
yeah, it could have gone either way. Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised if he deferred it.
Oh, I was being really sarcastic.
No, I was actually being honest because he was hurt.
So okay, yeah, he was hurt.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a crazy swerve? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna defer it. And
so
wow, that'd be a huge bomb, right?
Yeah. So Shivani calls out Orange to give his answer, but then Pat comes out instead. He says Orange is irrelevant. He's the only one who's relevant. And then Callis appears on the big screen. Speaking of guys who need their own TV show, he's on the big screen. He says he's not nuts and he won't come out there. But and then Kenny Omega tries an attack, but then Pac fucks his ass up. Like he was beating the crap out of Kenny Omega.
That was so perfect. He was so ready for Kenny. Like he turned around and stopped looking at Don. Like, shut up, Don. And he just looked right where Kenny was coming into the ring. So good.
So the Good Brothers come out. They attack Pac. Lucha Brothers come out. They run them off. And Kenny takes this opportunity to strike. He goes for the one-wing angel, but Orange's music hits. And everybody knows if you're a pro wrestler, if somebody's music hits, you get paralyzed. And so he comes out with
do your moves. Yeah.
He comes out with the best friends. He has a paper, it's like an envelope, and it says for Kenny, and it's like he wrote it twice or something.
I think he ran out of space to put Kenny on the top, so he
had to write it on the bottom.
It out and wrote on the bottom.
So inside, it's the document all shredded up, and it seems like Orange's answer is no. So this distracts Kenny. Orange hits the orange punch. He goes to pick up the belt, but then Pac stops him. Pac tries a powerbomb on Orange. He escapes and he hits an orange punch on Pac. Then he puts on the shades and picks up the belt. They say, ooh, could it be Orange? Maybe. I doubt it, but...
Here's the thing. I seriously doubt it too. If I had to put money on this, like somebody actually said, you got to put money on this one way or the other, I would pick Kenny. But damn, did Orange Cassidy not look good with that belt.
He did.
He did. Like, there's just something about it. Like, I mean, Pac could have looked good with the belt too, but something about, like, I mean, it's almost like they rehearsed this. Maybe they did. I don't know. But just the way Cassidy held it, putting up his thumb, with the glasses, it's like, man, like, I could see him as the champion. I really could. And it would be crazy. Stranger things have happened because, you'd have a champion who's not really going to talk in promos, but it could work. Who knows? We'll see.
Okay. And so earlier, Shivani says he spoke with Jade in a newsworthy interview, and oh my god, here it comes. Matt Hardy's there. He says he's gonna win the Casino Battle Royal, and he wants to be Jade's manager. And then this Mark Sterling comes out, the guy who Jade has denied like 3 weeks in a row. He says that Jade has picked me. I thought he was full of shit, but no, he was right. Jade picked him, and he says that he only gets paid when she wins. So all of this was to have Mark Sterling as her manager? What? So
Yeah,
this,
I'm with you.
you know what it has to be, right? They probably had somebody else in mind, and that person, like somebody new to debut, and that person either like was like, "No, I'm not doing this," or didn't sign with the company, and they were like, what the hell do we do then? We'll put it put her with Mark Sterling, because like, what the hell was all this for? Why couldn't they just have her one day be like, "Hey, my manager's Mark Sterling." Instead, we've got weeks and weeks and weeks of, like, should I pick Vicky Guerrero? Should I pick Matt Hardy? Should I pick Mark Sterling? There's maybe somebody else. I don't, and meanwhile, she's saying the entire time, I don't need a manager. And then now our manager is Mark Sterling. I don't understand what all this was for.
I didn't think of that, but that's a pretty good estimation, man. It could be the fact, like you said, it was somebody else that they had all along, but they couldn't secure that person for whatever reason, so they just went with this instead.
Yeah.
Because for what is this, like 6 or 7 weeks of build just for it to be Mark Sterling, really feels like a huge, deflating letdown.
I wouldn't even call it a letdown. It's just like, why didn't they just tell us that in the first place? Why go through all this crap?
Well, that too.
Who cares?
I was never a fan of these segments at all. So
I really like Jade. Speaking of Jade, she did have a match with Kylan King here. And did you notice this? When Jade came out, the crowd gave her zero reaction. No cheers or boos. Right. It was dead silent. That was
that's right.
Weird.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. So anyway, Jade beats her ass, and then they go to picture-in-picture. And I'm like, does this match need a picture-in-picture? Anyway.
Squash.
Yeah. They come back for break. It goes another few minutes, and then Jade hits Jaded and wins. Talk about time filler.
Yeah.
This was like a...
As soon as they came back from the picture-in-picture, it was pretty much over. Yeah. Okay, we're back from picture-in-picture. You can do your finisher now.
This felt like a Dragon Ball Z episode where 2 minutes takes like 3 episodes. This is like, what is this for?
Any second now.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add on this?
No, but that's a good point, man. I didn't think of that. You're right. She really didn't get much of a reaction at all.
No, she did
Jade,
not.
When she came out. Which is weird. I figured she would have been booed, but yeah, it was eerily quiet now that I think about it. So, odd. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention. Maybe I didn't notice it before. Is it just me, or are Jade's nails a little too long to be wrestling like that with?
I did not notice that at all.
Oh, I'm afraid she's gonna hurt herself or somebody with those long nails.
But, yeah. That's a good point, but I didn't notice. So Jake and Lance Archer are standing by, and Jake starts talking about, it'd be cool if Dante won, and Archer says, "Yeah, I don't want Dante," and he says he wants to punch Miro in the face because it pissed him off. So perfect, but we'll get to something else. So this is my match of the night: Miro versus Dante. Miro beat the crap out of him. He kicks him right in the back. The crowd chants one more time. He goes for it, but then he doesn't do it. The crowd cheers him anyway. Then Miro misses a splash. Dante fires up. He does a bunch of high-flying, exciting, impressive moves. And then Miro cuts him off, hits the Macha kick. Game over. And it took a little while for Dante to submit, but this was the best match of the night. What were your thoughts?
It was a good match for what it was. My match of the night is actually coming up, though.
Coming up. Okay.
There's only one other match on the card, I think.
You like this match? Okay. Well, but about Miro, anything?
It's hard to believe this guy is a heel, right? Like you said, like they were cheering him.
They're cheering everything he did, and then when he was trying to be a dick, they cheered him more.
I know, he was smiling. It's like, I can't believe they're actually cheering me to beat this poor kid's ass. I give all the credit in the world to Dante Martin, though, because he took it like a champ, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta pay them dues, Dante.
He does.
So Jake and Lance Archer come out now. Jake mocks Miro. Tells him, why don't you just shut the F up? Miro says, "Oh, let your boy loose for one," and then so he's like, "All right." Archer comes down. Miro tries a belt shot. Lance ducks. He goes for a choke slam, and then they brawl. And then Lance kicks him out of the ring, and Jake the Snake laughs. So this is the thing that I kind of like. The thing that always gets me about AEW. Of course, the thing that happened after the match was the important part again. But it's like they had Jake and Archer have the interview, then the match, and then they came out after the match. Why do we need that? Like, why do they need to talk before the match and then come out after the match? Like, just pick one or the other. We don't need all, like, there's so much crap on Dynamite.
Yeah. It probably goes back to what you've been saying all night, though. It's just filler, right? Like, oh, we got to fill more time. So now we're going to have Jake and Lance come out, even though they did a segment earlier. But yeah, I agree with you. If that was the case, one of them should have been longer, right? To make up for it. It was like, we need to fill 3 minutes of time. Okay, make it longer, one or the other. You're right. If you have them both, it's just too much.
Yeah. It's like these movies now that they have teasers for they have an announcement for the teaser for the trailer. Like, come on.
A clip of the trailer before the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the damn trailer, man.
Just
Jesus.
just show me the trailer and show me the damn movie. Like, let's get on with it. So then we've got a ceremony honoring Shida that didn't quite honor Shida. What do you want to say anything about this before I recap?
I don't know what this was, man. They gave her a new belt, and then they had Britt come out, and I was like, this was a celebration? In what way, other than the fact that,
yeah,
I don't know, they just said, hey, congratulations, here's a new belt, but by the way, you're going to be having to defend it next week, but
yeah.
Whatever.
So they mentioned that she's been champion for 377 days now. So Shida comes out in a dress. I was pretty damn sure Britt was gonna like throw paint all over her dress or something like that, but it didn't happen. So they showed off the new women's championship, but it looks exactly like the old championship belt. So so they put the belt around Shida's waist, the new belt, and then she's still holding the old belt. So she just puts it on her shoulder. So now she's Shida 2 belts. I thought that was funny.
Shida 2 belts.
And so she says, you know, when she won the belt, there was no fans, but tonight you are here, and she's proud. The title is for you and you and you. And then Britt comes out, and then JR, another line of the night, when Britt comes out, he just goes, well, I can't say I'm surprised. And she says,
true.
Yep. And she says she just came out here to congratulate Shida. She was the champ during the most difficult time in pro wrestling. This was her year. But she misspoke when she spoke with Jim Ross. She said she was the face of the division. But when she wins the title from Shida, she'll be the face of the whole new era. And the crowd cheers. And he says, just like when it was the 316 era, this will be all about the DMD. And the crowd does it all with her. So I think Shida is like the
sacrificial lamb.
She's not the crowd favorite here, to say the least. And then Britt leaves, and then Shida looked happy about it for some reason. I was like, all right.
It's kind of bittersweet, you know. Like, even Britt, surprisingly respectful in this, you know, promo, whatever you want to call it, in this segment. I'm glad she didn't come out and throw paint on Shida. Like, she gave her moment. It is kind of bittersweet because Shida, you know, wrestled through this whole pandemic with no fans, right? Really put it all on the line, put the division on her back, and was able to give us good stories without really having to, you know, cut a whole lot of promos or do a lot of, you know, talking. And it was good. But yeah, I would be shocked if Britt doesn't come out with the belt on Double or Nothing. This would be the biggest shock for me.
That would be the big. That seems like the biggest sure thing.
Even more than Kenny losing the belt or the Young Bucks possibly losing the belt or anything like that. If Britt doesn't come out with this belt, I would be shocked.
Yeah. So then we got a Sammy sign during picture-in-picture. I watched it, and did you notice that every other sign says your time draws near?
Yeah.
It was just like Sean Spears, your time draws near. On this Sunday, your time draws near. Stadium Stampede, your time draws near. I don't know if like That must have been on purpose.
It was.
But it's pretty much just
Go
him
ahead.
calling out Shawn Spears.
I couldn't get past the fact that all the fans were going nuts for those cards.
Yeah.
Did you see that? He threw them, and everybody's like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
they want a Sammy card, man.
I'm almost certain he's not the one signing those.
No, like you notice how the one that says your time draws near, it was all they were printed.
Yeah, or somebody, somebody has a very specific, handwriting to be able to do these. It's not him. I doubt it. Yeah, you're just some random, dude that's getting
So,
some random dude's signature, I guess.
so then I guess we've got up next what was your match of the night. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page versus Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. And tell us why this crappy match was your match of the night.
Mostly because of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. Those guys can carry a match.
Okay, I'll give it to you that the reason why I said this match was crappy is because of Ethan Page. I just don't get this guy. I don't get him at all. Like I just don't. I don't get Scorpio's bad guy routine, but he's damn good in the ring. But Ethan Page, he's like a worse Miz.
I get that reference.
He's just not good.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I just like it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I just don't get this guy.
They looked okay. I mean, honestly, they didn't look like a well-oiled machine, for lack of a better term. Like, almost like just two guys who were good at wrestling. Granted, I know Paige is not, to Scorpio's level, for example, but just put together as a tag team. It's like, hey, you guys are a tag team now. Figure it out. That's what it felt like to me. And yet these guys are 7-0. Can you believe that? Before tonight, they were 7-0. Which is nuts, because if I swear this would have been their first or second match with the way that they look together. I mean, I don't know. Uno and Stu were the team.
Uno and Stu are very good. Yeah, they worked as a team. They're very good as a team. Best move of the match, Evo Uno hit that step up Hurricane Rana. That looked very cool.
That was awesome. Yeah.
So
I didn't like the ending.
End of the match was kind of like head scratching, but I'm not gonna really harp on it too much. Scorpio had the heel hook on Grayson in the ring, and then Ethan Page hit the razor's edge on Evil Uno and got the 3. So Scorpio and Grayson were still in the ring when Ethan Page pinned Uno. So
yeah, it just all came, for lack of a better term, it just all came together at the end, but it all came apart too. Like, literally 10 seconds earlier, it looked like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky were going to lose this match.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I don't think they are, but I was like, who knows? Next thing you know, they're pulling off these two moves.
It just happened, right?
In the ring. Yeah, and it just happened, and it's over. Like, what?
They probably didn't have time because they were that weigh-in took about 3 years. So they were like
a Dragon Ball Z match.
So they were like, you know what? Sure. Just hit your moves and just end this match now.
Over. Yeah.
But like all AEW matches, what happens after the match is what's important. So Ethan Page gets on the mic and he says, this is what's gonna happen on Sunday. And then Sting's music hits, and then Darby comes out with all the Sting clones, and JR notes that's happened before. And Darby goes after Ethan, and then Scorpio just beats up a lineup of Stings until the real Sting tanks his punches, and then the two bad guys run away. So this is another one. They had Darby match, and then they had Ethan Page and Scorpio mess with them after the match, and then they had Scorpio and Ethan Page match, and then they had Darby and Sting mess with them after their match. Like, just pick fucking one.
Yeah, that's true. That was a lot, for all things considered. That was a lot for one match on Double or Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, after what we've all discussed tonight, like, they didn't really build a whole lot of the other matches, which they could have done. Because when they go down the list of all the matches for Double or Nothing, they didn't have any build for the Riho match. They didn't have any build, really, for the Casino Battle Royale, other than Christian and Hobbs. That's only 2 guys out of what'd they say, 21 guys? Right?
Yeah.
Like, you bring up a good point about them, double booking a lot of this stuff. The Sting and the Darby and the
Jake and Lance
and the
Archer.
Jake and the Jake, Lance Archer and the Miro thing. Like they could have given some of that time to some of these other matches. But I don't know. I'm not the one that writes for this. I'm not the one that's, in charge behind the scenes. But yeah. A little bit too much of too little things.
So even though this wasn't a match, this was the best part of Dynamite. Coming up, well, what's coming up next? I mean, the celebration of the Inner Circle, hosted by Eric Bischoff, and then he mentions that 25 years ago he introduced one of the greatest factions of all time. That, of course, would be Well Done.
Well Done?
No, not Well Done. The NWO, and we got a full crowd singing Judas along. So hail to the yeah. But you know what? They always show somehow they find people who are screwing up the song, right? They showed this one girl who was singing the wrong lyrics, and then they showed another guy who was singing like 3 seconds ahead of everybody else. Like, what the hell are they? Are they like just trying to embarrass people or something? I know. It was like, I thought it was funny, but it's like, why don't they just show people actually singing along with the song? Like, So Jericho thanks.
You should do a sweeping cam. That would have been the easiest part, like a sweeping cam of everybody.
Yeah, and then you couldn't pick out the one person not singing the song correctly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Jericho thanks Bischoff. They show a badass video package of the Inner Circle beating the shit out of people, being bad guys. That was pretty funny. So then Santana gets on the mic and he says October 2nd, 2019. He says that's when they formed. Now they're stronger than ever. He carried them through the pandemic, standing with the best fans in wrestling today. If this is the last dance, he wouldn't have it any other way. And then Hager says he wants to see the hard times, show him the hard times when they left their soul behind. Then Sammy gets on the mic and the crowd loves Sammy. They're chanting Sammy.
His name.
And he's in the greatest faction until he wasn't. He didn't like that at all. He's going to make sure that never happens again. But if this is the end, thank you guys for everything. And then Jericho says he was hesitant to create a faction until he met these guys. They were going to put on a performance at Stadium Stampede. They're going to go out in a blaze of glory. If this is the end, he just wants to say one thing. I love you. And they have a group hug. And they do their middle finger salute. But of course, there's no way that's the end of Dynamite, right? And then what happens next was also very good. MJF is on the big screen. He asks if they're excited for Sunday. He asks Wardlow if he's excited for Sunday. They've got Dean Malenko in an AEW shirt tied up to the goalpost.
It would have made sense if it was an Inner Circle shirt, right? But whatever.
But no, it's just funny. Like, I don't know why that was funny to me, but he's just wearing a torn up AEW shirt and he's tied up to the goalpost. And he says, "You better get down here." So the Inner Circle run down to the field, and then they it kind of didn't work out so well visually when the Inner Circle are running, and then the Pinnacle attack them from behind, and you're just like, holy crap, there's like some fans attacking the Inner Circle. But then you realize, oh crap, it's the Pinnacle. And JR says, is this a trap? And Shivani says, it's an ambush. And the attack, they beat the crap out of the Inner Circle. FTR does the dual power drivers through the tables on Santana and Ortiz. That was crazy.
Nuts.
And the end of Dynamite is MJF saying, that's what happens because when you are in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. So, yeah, perfect ending segment for the pay-per-view. Your thoughts?
Yes, that wrapped it up. That was a good conclusion to this Dynamite, and makes me really look forward to that match. Yeah.
Which I don't know how they're gonna do. Right? Are they gonna do that live, or are they gonna do it taped like last year? It's weird, huh?
That's a good question. I haven't read anything either way. I mean, it would be weird if it was not live, right? If you're in the crowd, it's like, by the way, we taped the Stadium Stampede when you weren't here, folks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And if they do it with the crowd, it's gonna be hard for the crowd to follow along too, because they're gonna be all over the place, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do this. Actually,
I think
in some ways I'm not that psyched about it. Yeah.
Probably the safest way is for them to just tape it.
Mm.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, the crowd will still be the first to see it, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it just sucks that I guess they won't be able to see it live in some way. And in fact, now that I think about it, you're right. Like they can't really follow them. So if they do the Stadium Stampede live, it's not actually going to be in Daly's place. It's going to be in the Jaguar Stadium. So they're going to be following them around. So it would still have to be broadcast to the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. It'd probably be easier to just do a cinematic, to just have it pre-taped already.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you want to do our predictions, like how we promised last week? We do our predictions. Okay, so we got the buy-in show. The NWA Women's Championship is on the line. Serena Deeb is the champion defending against Riho. I am gonna go with Serena Deeb because I just think,
okay.
I just think Riho's like gone all the time. Like she just goes back and forth in Japan. I think they just wanted to have a good match on the buy-in and just threw these two girls out there because Serena Deeb is great, Riho's great. I don't think Riho's gonna win though.
Bring up a good point. Yeah, that's possible. Unless somehow Riho's staying behind, which we'll never know behind the scenes. If she is, then maybe this would be more. I was actually gonna go for Riho, but you bring up a good point. So
what is your pick?
Yeah, I would say Serena as well.
You're gonna go
Riho's
Serena?
Travel plans would nix that. Yeah. Or travel restrictions, I guess, would nix that. Yeah.
So Casino Battle Royal for a future AEW World Championship match. The only three people I know in this match are Hobbs, Christian, and a mystery opponent. Oh, and Matt Hardy. So 4.
Saw Penta, Jungle Boy, I think Chuck Taylor. I don't know.
So do you have?
I didn't try to write everybody down.
Do you have a prediction?
Christian Cage.
Okay.
What about you?
Let's go big, baby. Okay, for you. Bryan Danielson. Why the hell? Why the hell not? Right?
You think? Wow. I mean, that would be nuts if he's the mystery opponent. That would be absolutely crazy.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose, and that's not gonna be it. But if it is, I can come back to this video and point to all of you how right I was.
How prophetic you were. Yeah. That would be amazing. Yeah. CM Punk, maybe?
No way, CM Punk.
Yeah.
So the grudge match of all grudge matches, the United States versus the United Kingdom. Cody, the American Dream, Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. I'm gonna go Ogogo.
I am too, actually. I am too. Like, it just doesn't make any sense for Cody. Well, okay. It makes sense for Cody to win this, in the regard that, the hero should win this battle between good and evil. But they're building a Ogogo, right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't think Cody's the hero either.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because of that interview that he gave the other week, and people thought it was very, like, tone deaf. The current status quo of the United States.
Current events, considering. Yeah. Fair point. Yeah.
So then
you never know it. You never know it looking at the AEW crowd, though.
So then you've got Hangman. So you went Ogogo too, right?
What's that?
You went Ogogo as well?
Yeah, I did. I went Ogogo
too.
So
then we got Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. Who do you got?
I got Brian Cage winning this.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this off air last week. Yeah, Brian Cage. I definitely think Brian Cage. Unless because, as always noted, and not exactly a stretch or anything, but seems like Hangman is destined to be the guy to beat Kenny Omega, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna have him kind of squander around a little bit. I think Brian Cage.
I agree with you. That's exactly my reasoning for it too. I think you're right. I think that really points to what will happen with Hangman after this match, because it'd be way too fast if he beats Brian now, because he's gonna be the next one, right? He's gonna have to be the contender for Kenny's belt.
So then we've got Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I want Sting and Darby because I don't want Scorpio with Ethan Page anymore. Well, I'm gonna go Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
See, I am too. I am too. I I don't know. I want Sting and Darby to win this, but yeah, I see Scorpio and Page being the ones to pull this off, right? They wouldn't have put them together otherwise, right? Because
Yeah, like
Sting doesn't help Scorpio. I'm sorry, Sting doesn't help Darby as much as it makes up for the fact that Scorpio and Page need a direction, if that makes
yes,
sense. Yeah. So for them to just go in there and lose, like it's like, what was the point of them getting together then? Right?
yes.
Yeah.
So then we've got the TNT This one is actually, I feel like, is a little bit difficult. The TNT Championship, Miro versus Lance Archer. Who you got?
This is the one I've racked my brain about, and I've gone back and forth probably 10 times, but I honestly think Lance is gonna win this.
How?
Yeah. I know
Ooh.
if you asked me before I watched tonight's Dynamite, I might have said Miro because I was going back and forth since it was announced. So this is probably like I said, like 10 times I've gone back and forth. But right now, I think Lance is gonna win this.
So this might be the tiebreaker between. I'm gonna go with Miro. I don't think they'll just. But you know what? I wouldn't be. I don't think it'll happen, but I would not be surprised. Like I would not be surprised if Lance Archer won. He's a big enough star. He's good enough. Thing obviously. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be too surprised, but I don't think they should take it off Miro yet. They've got something with him.
You know they do, which is messed up because I kind of, in a weird way. I mean, obviously the belts are there for one person to win, or a tag team if you look at it that way, right? For either a team or or an individual to win, and I understand that because that's what everybody's chasing for. But sometimes, I feel this like conflict where I want other guys to hold the belt at the same time. Miro is a great champion. I know he's only been champion for like 2 weeks, but he's freaking awesome. I I think he deserves being the champion, and he'll do great things. But at the same time, I felt like Lance's time should have been 6 months ago or 9 months ago, right? Like
Yeah.
I felt he should have beat Cody when he debuted. I think we talked about that. Like I thought he should have beat Cody when he debuted for the belt for the TNT Championship. So
So you think it's
now
Lance's time here?
that's the messed up thing. Like, I don't know why AEW would push him to face Miro so quickly after Miro won if he wasn't gonna win, right? Like, I don't know. If I was Lance Archer, I'd be like, why are you making me wrestle for the belt again? If I'm just gonna end up being another roadblock, right? Another, a speed bump for somebody, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Tough call,
Ooh,
man.
you make a good point, but we're gonna
Yeah,
find out on Sunday. So they got the
yeah.
Stadium Stampede, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle, and if the Inner Circle loses, they have to break up. And I am
I
gonna go with the Inner Circle because they really tried to make you think that this might be the end. And really, like, even though eventually the Inner Circle will have to break up and everybody will have to go their separate ways, it's like, why would you do that now? They're so damn good together. They're one of the best things going, if not the best thing in wrestling. Like, don't do it now. Don't do it,
yeah.
AEW. Just don't fucking do it.
Right until literally right until the Inner Circle celebration package, I was actually thinking that the Pinnacle was gonna win this. But after watching that, I was like, nah, they can't kill the Inner Circle yet. They can't. They can't. So yeah, I'm with you. I think the Inner Circle is gonna pull this off. For a number of reasons other than that. One, I don't think they'll kill them off because the momentum is so good. Like you said, they're such a great thing. They're so good together. Two, it'd be so awful for the Inner Circle to lose every single faction battle they've had.
That's
They
true,
lost the
yeah.
first Stadium Stampede. They lost. They lost. I'm gonna guess their first Blood and Guts. Who knows? They could be in another one. And then they lose the second Stadium Stampede. That would
Yeah.
be like, I'm never betting on you guys again. You know what I mean?
That is a good point.
So yeah, I think they'll pull this off. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida defending against Hikaru, as Tony Schiavone calls her,
All right.
versus Britt Baker. And so it's your turn to go first, but it really isn't.
DMD all the way.
DMD all the
DMD,
way.
AEW. Yeah, go hand in hand.
This is pretty much the. If I had to go with like, if you had to pick like one match that's like, this is a lock. This is the lock, right?
Yes, for me, absolutely. Yeah.
This is the lock.
I would put big money on this one.
I mean,
there's just no way they're building it up
it's just time
for her to lose. Yeah.
It's just Britt Baker's time. That's all there is to it.
You bring up a good point too. Like everybody was just completely, soaking it up when she was out there. Right?
And they really didn't seem to give a shit about Shida at all.
No, they didn't. Unfortunately, which is too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody was just there for Britt. So.
Britt is just.
Yeah, it's got to be Britt. Yeah.
So AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks, Todd and Rod Flanders versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I will go with Young Bucks.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But this is one I could see them. I could see the change. I wouldn't be a shocker if we see the change, but I'm gonna stick with the Young Bucks. I'm not a title change kind of guy all the time.
I think this is, for me, gonna be the surprise of the night, and I think Kingston and Mox are gonna pull this off.
Ooh.
So that's gonna create a schism in the Elite, right? Because Kenny will be the only one with the belt now.
But right? Will he? Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Well, we haven't gotten to that. That's true. Yeah. That's true.
But you're gonna go with Eddie and Moxley.
They would be a great champion. I mean, they would be kind of that. How do I explain it? Dark horse, champions. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was going back and forth on this one too. It could go either way, but I think they're gonna pull a surprise, and Kingston and Mox are gonna walk away with these belts.
I mean, these are two guys who are just like too damn good for their own good.
Yeah, and this will give them the reason to stay doing promos, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it wouldn't make any sense for them to stay together if they lost this belt. Am I right? You know what I mean? I mean, they could come up with any number of storyline reasons, right? But who are they going to feud with next if they don't have the belts, right? Best friends? I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So that's the only other. So we've differed on 2 matches. In the AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus defending against Pac and Orange Cassidy. It's your turn to go first, but I don't think the one's difficult to predict.
I don't think this is in doubt. As much as I would love to see Orange with the belt, because I think that'd be an ultimate swerve and interesting to see how he would be pushed with the belt when he barely talks. I'm gonna go with Kenny on this one.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. Kenny Omega all the way. That's where it's at. Yeah, those are our predictions for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. And anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, I think that's about it, man. I guess Dynamite's on next week Friday again. So
that's right. Dynamite is on next Friday, so we will be back at that time. Or wouldn't it blow all your minds if we recap Dynamite on Wednesday? You never know. You never know. We could do it. We just might do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we'll be back again next week. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. Hit all those buttons. You know the good buttons. Don't press the bad buttons. What?
We forgot one thing. Let's see the shirt, man.
Oh, so I'm rocking the Woken Matt Hardy shirt.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen that guy.
Haven't, you're right. I don't know what happened to him. I'm rocking my Darth Vader heel shirt.
Darth Vader heel shirt. Yeah. Okay. Where the hell did you get that from?
ProWrestlingTees.com.
They have a Darth Vader t-shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com.
It's a collab with Barbershop Window. So
I'm surprised Disney didn't shut that shit down.
I am too, man. I guess it's fair use in some way because they don't have the Star Wars logo on it. I don't know.
I don't know. Too. I don't know.
It could be Could be a limited edition item.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, that's it for us. Thanks again for watching, and until then, be good, stay safe, and we will see you soon.
thanks, guys. Take care.